রোজগারের তাগিদে আমরা ভীতু হয়ে গেছি। Translation: In our quest for earning a livelihood, we have become cowards. If I had to describe Satyajit Ray's 1963 movie Mahanagar, also known as The Big City, in one sentence, I would utter the aforementioned dialogue. Considering all of his short films, documentaries, television films, and feature films, the legendary Indian director Satyajit Ray has directed 36 films. I have seen 33 of them, 3 of them in the last week itself. Like any other timeless work of art, you notice a new attribute every time you watch a Satyajit Ray movie. Here is an amateur video of Satyajit Ray's masterful use of metaphors in Jalshakhar, also known as The Music Room, a movie I have already reviewed on this YouTube channel. Mahanagar, while set firmly in Kolkata, is replete with the hustle and bustle of daily big city life, but it is not considered a part of Satyajit Ray's Kolkata Trilogy. Why is this the case? The simple answer is Kolkata Trilogy is not as easily identifiable as, say, the Oppo Trilogy, comprising Pother Panchali, Oporajito, and Opur Shongshar, or the 2 Feluda movies, or the 2 Gupi Gain Baghabain movies. No recurring characters are present in the Kolkata Trilogy, except perhaps the presence of all the characters in the city of Calcutta. But by that rationale, many other Satyajit Ray films also tell the story of characters living in Kolkata, like Porosh Pathor and Aguntuk. The most glaring omission from the term Kolkata Trilogy, a term coined by ardent cinema fans to describe Satyajit Ray's 3 movies, Pratidwandi, Shimabodho and Jana Aranyo, is the movie Mahanagar. Mahanagar, a term frequently used to denote Calcutta, or Kolkata as it is now known, is the title of the movie itself, and strangely, Mahanagar the movie is not part of the trilogy of movies included in Kolkata Trilogy. I would not have devoted so much time to this topic if I had not identified a common theme present in Mahanagar, Pratidwandi, Shimabodho and Jana Aranyo. All 4 of these movies talk about the struggle in the workplace. Sometimes it is the difficulty to get a job, a series of interviews followed by a series of almost inevitable rejections, depicted beautifully in Pratidwandi, also known as The Adversary, or sometimes it is the short-lived bliss of being your own boss, as experienced by the protagonist in Jana Aranyo, also known as The Middleman. Fun deviation here, almost all Satyajit Ray movies had an official English title, which almost always was a literal English translation of the Bengali title of the movie. Pratidwandi was also known as The Adversary. Aranye Dinratri was also known as Days and Nights in the Forest. Gupi Gain Baghabain got the slightly embellished but cinematically accurate English title of The Adventures of Gupi Gain and Baghabain. But Jana Aranyo became The Middleman, a term with a completely different meaning than Jana Aranyo. Jana Aranyo describes the dense human population in the city of Calcutta, perhaps. If you have seen Jana Aranyo, then you know that the English title, The Middleman, is both appropriate and cannot be translated into Bengali for obvious reasons. Back to Mahanagar, accurately translated into English as The Big City. In this movie, almost every aspect of a person's employed life has been depicted through the lens of different characters in the same household. A child who is without a care in the world, and by far is my favorite character in Mahanagar, is the perfect reflection of how society adapts and accepts changes that are almost inevitable. This child, with perfectly appropriate childish innocence and flawless dialogues, comes to terms with the changing reality in his own household with almost as much grace as society has in store for any change in the direction of progress. A young student, played by a very young Jaya Bachchan, Jaya Bhaduri then, full of aspirations beyond the traditional domestic role reserved for women in contemporary Indian society, who worries that her future is susceptible to the lack of financial security in her family. In a classic piece of meta-humor that nobody could have predicted, Jaya Bachchan's character says, if someone becomes an actor in Hindi movies, then they would charge a lot of money for each movie and travel to Mumbai from Kolkata only via flights. A newly employed person who experiences the freedom that only your own hard-earned income can generate only to realize that individual prosperity may and often does engender envy among those nearest and dearest to you, while also creating conflict between individual ideals and the prospect of personal prosperity on the career front. There is an aging matriarch who has calmly, with zero complaints, accepted her role as the caregiver in the family, responsible for the well-being of individuals from 3 different generations of humans as well as a cat. An able young man who espouses liberal values turns conservative in the face of opposition from his own family, till he gets a bitter taste of job as well as personal insecurity. He manages to get in touch with his liberal side only at the end of the movie in the most morally ambiguous psychological roller coaster ride ever depicted in a Satyajit Ray movie. And finally, there is the most morally equivocal character in the movie, the aging patriarch of the family, a retired school teacher who feels his now successful students somehow would be more than willing to help him out financially, but on the other hand, he refuses to accept money earned by his extremely caring daughter-in-law. Mahanagar is a treat to watch. Every frame tells a story, and towards the end of the movie, you wish it went on for a few more hours. It beautifully captures the literal daily journey of an ambitious young person, starting from humble environments, who is not even aware of their own efficiency in a field they did not even know was accessible to them, to the splendid homes of the urban elite, and along the way, how they begin to dare to make plans of acquiring material comforts like an electric fan or, shock horror, even an air conditioner. This daily journey perfectly mimics the journey of a salaried employee who has hopes of rising through the ranks and bringing an end to his days of living without material comforts. The Bengali way of expressing a life lived in poverty is not using the literal Bengali translation of poverty, which is daridro, but we use the term obhab, which means lack. The patriarch does not lack access to food and shelter. He lacks access to pursuing his trivial pursuits. Above all, he lacks a life where he could do as he pleased, go anywhere he wanted to go. So he seeks to fulfill this unfulfilled desire by calling on his erstwhile students, who respond in different ways. In the quest for growth in our own careers, salaried employees often encounter situations where speaking out against injustice jeopardizes our own career. But unlike most people, the protagonist in the movie does the right thing, because not everyone in the quest for earning a livelihood has become a coward. Satyajit Ray movies are truly timeless. Check out Mahanagar on YouTube. It is available with English subtitles. Thank you for watching this video. Take care. Bye bye. And please don't forget to be awesome.